What's going on, guys? It's Byron here from ETA Wheels, and we have a rather odd but very cool unboxing experience for you. So, as you guys may or may not know, I basically got a DJI Osmo 2 Pocket, and I pretty much destroyed it. I was filming outside with it, and it cooked itself. What to do? Well, they gave me a new one. So, we're going to walk you through what you get with the DJI Osmo 2 Content Creator Kit. Let's get it. Alrighty, so this is what you get here. And this comes with the camera, the handle, tripod, the extension, wide-angle lens, and the wireless microphone, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy up, shall we? Now, it was really funny because I got a phone call from the DJI warehouse where they repaired these things, and he had asked me, he said, "What were you doing with the camera when it stopped working?" And I said, "Well, I was filming with it." And he said, "Okay, how were you filming?" And I explained it to him. And then I even showed him the video, which is our Alcantara wheel cleaning video, if you guys are curious and you want to see pretty much the moment it happens. So this is what you get. Very nice packaging. I got to give DJI credit for that. It's very, very nice packaging. You got your accessories here. I do apologize, I'm trying to keep everything in focus. I'm still working on getting to know this camera. And this here is the case. And we have our little pluck and file instructions. And then down here in the bottom, you've got all your extra accessories, okay? So, this is what they call the multimedia handle. I don't know why this thing's not focusing right. I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so we're back. Sorry about that. So this is what they call the multimedia handle, okay? And so what this does, this is what gives you a Bluetooth connection. Without this, you can't actually use any of the Bluetooth features. Now, this is the wireless mic that they give you, and it's actually very nice. But again, without the handle, you can't use any of the Bluetooth. This is like an extra little cover that they give you. I didn't use that on my other setup either. And then you have the tripod, which, you know, it's a tiny little tripod, but it's a very nice tiny little tripod. It's actually made out of, feels like aluminum. So now we're going to go ahead and open this. And this is what they call the dead cat, or the wind muff, whatever you want to call it. This is what you're going to use on the mic on a windy day. And you're just going to put it here, like so, and it just clips and locks in, right? This is the wide-angle lens. As you can tell, it's quite well packaged. So there's that. Okay. Now this is cool because it's magnetic. Trying to get it to focus on that. But this is cool because it's magnetic, and it's very helpful. And I'll be right back. I know what the microphone looks like. It's a very, very, very nice mic. I am not entirely sure who makes it for DJI, but it's a 320 milliamp hour battery. I've used it for an hour or so at a time and never had an issue. And the other cool thing is, there it is. if you're going to run a lapel mic, you can run a lapel mic just by plugging it in right there. So it's very easy. It's very, very simple. Very easy to use. Now we have, this is the thumbstick controller. And this is what you're probably going to end up having fitted to the camera, I'd say about 90% of the time while you're using it, just because it is quite convenient. And that's just your little joystick there. Nothing fancy. That's the connection pins. And I'll show you one of the other things that I absolutely love about this camera. This is your iPhone adapter, which I don't have an iPhone, so I'm probably never going to use this. I don't care. Maybe you do. Maybe it's important to you. It's not important to me. Now we have the USB Type-C connector. This one is actually important to me. And fun fact, guys, without this, you actually can't set up your camera for the initial setup. So you do need this. This is mission critical. When you do an update to your camera, you have to do your update through this. That is one of the few things that I dislike about this camera, but we'll get into that in a moment. And now you've got your wrist strap. I mean, this is just a standard old wrist strap, nothing fancy. And you have your double dong cable. I don't know what the proper name is. I call it a double dong because it's got 2 dongles. They could have made this a little bit longer, I think, because this really is quite short, and that's, again, one of the things that's annoying. But it's cool because you can charge your microphone and your camera at the same time, which is kind of the whole point of it after all. And that's everything that's in here. Now we'll pick up our garbage. And now we're getting into one of my favorite things about this camera, which is that pretty much everything you see here, not this, but pretty much everything you see right here actually goes inside the storage case, which is muy bueno. Now I'm not going to walk you through the setup of this camera because I think that's pretty well beat to death all over YouTube. Everybody has their different preferences. This is what it looks like when you pull it right out of the box. You can see it's nice and compact, and it's got the blank panel installed. So before I even do anything else with it, I'm going to show you. This one is the one that you're probably going to have 90% of the time installed, because this gives you your little controller for the camera. And now we're just going to very carefully, and again, this is one of the things that I kind of dislike about the camera. It's a pain in the butt a little bit to get it into this case. So this is where your wide angle lens goes, and it's got little magnets in there to help keep everything stable. And then this is where you put your USB, and then you can put your iPhone dongle connection, and you just put it there. So this little yellow tab comes out, and this little yellow tab comes out. And so your microphone is designed to go right there, okay? Your tripod just goes right in here. And just kind of lays in there nice and flush. That's one of the things I do like about it. All right. And now we're going to go ahead, because you're pretty much not going to use the camera without this. And this is one of the reasons that it doesn't make sense to buy this without getting the creator combo, because by the time you buy all of these separately, you could have just, you've actually spent less money to buy the creator combo than to buy everything separately. So this is just a little cover that pops off the bottom. Come on. And even though it is made out of plastic, it is very nice quality plastic in terms of how it feels. You got to be careful because the power button is right here, and it is very easy to just accidentally pop that on and off, and it really is a pain in the butt. Alright, so now we got this, and just for the size increase alone, how much nicer this fits in your hand, especially if you're a big person like I am, I really recommend this content creator combo. This is just a little extension handle. You can pop that on. Oops, got it backwards. So you just pop it on like so, and then that just gives you a little bit more meat to hold on to. And you know, if you want to run your hand strap, I'm assuming through here, you can. But this is better. This is a better choice. Pull the lever, slide it together, and now we're locked in. You also have an audio input here. So if you have a lav mic like what I'm wearing, you can plug it in directly right there as well. But because I'm going to use this, I can plug my lav mic right here into that port. And I mean, they give you so many different options on like how to use this. It's insane. So now that this handle is on, you're pretty much never going to use these again. Never say never, right? Never say never. But yeah, you're pretty much never going to use those again. Now we're just going to take the sticker off the lens and the stickers off the gimbal here. And for those of you wondering, this is actually made out of, feels like machined aluminum. So that's a good thing. And we're going to take there we go, take the sticker. This is your screen. This is a very tiny little screen. So I imagine most of you guys that are using this camera are probably going to use it with a smartphone via Bluetooth connection, so that you can actually see what you're doing on your screen, because that is very tiny. And even if you've got great eyes, it's still very tiny. And it's not exactly the most viewable screen in the world. It's workable if you're just trying to line yourself up in the shot, and that's all it's really for. It's not for anything else. So let's go ahead and power it on. And you can see it's now powered on. I'm just going through the setup menu partially. I'm not going to go through the full setup. Alright, well apparently to do anything with it I've got to plug this into my phone. So give me a moment. And I'm going to show you, actually you know what? I am going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and do this, because I want to show you one of my biggest complaints about this thing. Right? It's got a handy tripod. Let's use it, shall we? Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the smartphone adapter. And I want to show you how cheese dick this is, because I can't describe it any other way. All right. So give me just a moment. Now the DJI app is actually pretty nice, so that's a good thing. And I'm pulling up the DJI app. And you only have to do this the first time you set up the camera. After that, you don't have to do it anymore. All right, so we're going to put it in camera mode. And this is how you make your connection to your smartphone. And if you don't do this, it doesn't work. Okay, so I'm agreeing to the terms and services. It's doing its thing. Now there is a company that sells a frame for this to support your smartphone, but I mean realistically, DJI, seriously, you give us a beautiful cable. Why can I not do this through the standard USB connection? It's beyond me, I don't know. But DJI, I hope you're watching, I hope you're listening, and I hope you take this feedback, because this is my biggest complaint about your software. So now it's doing its thing. It says send activation information to device, confirming activation info with server. It's going to take a little bit. You will need an internet connection for this. But yeah, this is one of the things that I really don't like about it, because every time you do have to do this, for whether it's for update or whatever, it's really cheese dick. There's no other way to put it. It's cheese dick. I get it, they're trying to be minimalist. This camera is really designed for people who don't want to do a whole lot. And I'm just letting it do its thing. It's taking its sweet time. This is what's actually unlocking all the features on the camera. You will have to have a DJI account set up with DJI. But yeah, anyway, in the interest of expediency, I'm going to go ahead and power back on here when this part's done. Alrighty guys, and we're back. So now it's going to walk you through the new user guide. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I did not know that you could manually adjust this. I'm going to try that. Okay. So now, all right. Now I've got to insert an SD card. So, go ahead and unhook that. This is one of my other complaints about this. This SD card going in and out of here is kind of hokey. I'm not a fan. I feel this could have been done much better. However, I will say on this one compared to my other one, the in and out is significantly easier. I really had to shove the hell out of it in my other one. So now we're just going to kind of get it set up on the little tripod here, which is just about the perfect height to balance the phone on the box. And we're going to go ahead and do our software update because, yeah, electronics. All right. So it's recognized the SD card. And cool. So it's downloading the software update, but as you can see, I'm using my phone to control it. That's neat. Now it says you can just do this by hand without hurting anything. I've never done that. I've never tried that. So that was kind of cool. So I did learn something. Okay, so now I'm going to tap to update the firmware. And it's doing its thing. It's installing the firmware now. This part, I will give DJI very, very, very high marks. It does not take very long to actually install the firmware. It'll take you longer to download it than it'll take to actually install it. So that's pretty cool. All it's really doing, I'm assuming, is writing it onto the memory card and then shooting it into the camera, into the... I don't know, I'm not a software engineer, I'm not a hardware engineer, I'm not an engineer. I fix airplanes for a living, that's what I do. So, the Smurfs from here, talk to the Smurfs from here, kill Gargamel, update the camera, do its thing. There's all kinds of pretty little flashing red and green lights and all that stuff is going on. Right about there on the camera. So I'm going to let this do its thing and we'll be back. I would say from out of the box to usable, 10 minutes. Anyway, we'll be back. All right, so we're sitting at 98, 100%. Alrighty. Now it's updating the accessories. So there's a firmware update for the camera, then there's a firmware update for the accessories. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that if I grab the microphone, it's going to need an update as well. Where did I put it? I can't see anything. Oh, yeah, duh. I put it in its handy dandy holder spot. I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And so that just told me that there's 2 updates. And I think if I remember correctly, I have to hold this. And then it should get picked up here by the media module. Okay, so now I think we're done with this part. So go ahead and do that. Shucky darn. Okay, so phone is connected. Apparently it's still updating even though it said update failed as soon as I unplugged the phone, but I should be able to unplug the damn phone by now. A little annoyed about that, DJI. Okay. So I'm just waiting for this green light to start blinking like a madman. We're going to try that again. There's 2. There's 1 LED here and 1 LED here. And it says just press and hold until it enters into pairing mode. But apparently the mic is not actually going into pairing mode. Testing, testing. I will make one observation. The color palette is way better than it was previously. All right, I'm going to disconnect you. Cool. So I'm going to disconnect this. We're done with this part of the process. And now we're just going to go ahead and slide this in. It's updating the control stick. So yeah, apparently there's some kind of a memory in here as well. All the little accessories have an update. Okay, so just show you something cool. If you triple tap it, it'll automatically flip it back to you. And if you triple tap it, it'll automatically turn it back that way. And of course, it was just out of focus. So let's check this out. Triple tap. Now it's in selfie mode. Triple tap. Now it's back to forward filming. Pretty damn cool, huh? Alright. So, for some reason, this part is just not, I don't know if it's just not working or what. So I'm going to go into the menu. Okay, we're going to go into the settings, accessories, okay, so it's recognizing the do-it-all handle. And by the way, you can change the stick speed as well, which is pretty cool. All right. Okay, so I'm going to try to pair the mic this way. It says turn on the mic and press the pairing button. Wireless mic not found. Okay. Maybe I got to do it right off of the bat, like power up the mic and then hold it down real quick. I'm not seeing any blinking action going on here. So that is a little annoying and disappointing. Yeah, I got nothing. It could also be because, I mean, this is fresh out of the box, so the camera is very possibly dead. But, I mean, seriously, this should work. I don't know. I'll get it figured out. I'll be right back. Alright, so I switched the camera off. I'm sorry. I switched the microphone off, charged it up just a little bit, and you can see it's flashing here, right? So it's doing its flashy thing, indicating that it's ready for pairing. And, I mean, it should be connecting here. Yeah, it's being really weird. I did not have any of these problems with the last one. Okay, so I switched it off. Now it's blinking rapidly. They should be paired, or pairing. Okay, so now they're both blinking rapidly. Says it's connecting. Wireless mic not found. Not quite sure what's going on with that. Okay. Now we're doing our first wireless setup. I want to make sure that the Wi-Fi connection is working. So you can see here on the camera. There we go. Move that in a little closer. There we go. So you can see it now as it pans. I'm doing all of this from the phone. And you can see it's pretty quick. So now we got to figure out the audio. Okay, so it's blinking rapidly. Now this could legitimately be a battery issue. It could just be... It's still saying the mic's not found. That's weird. So I think what I'm going to do is just continue to charge it up. As you can see, I'm actually just using a power bank here. And a power bank is enough to apparently charge both of them. I'm going to go ahead and switch that off. Now, so there we go. Now it's charging. Okay, that was weird, but all right, I'll take that. It's a USB-C, but apparently maybe I just didn't have it shoved in far enough. But this light that's down here on the bottom, that's how you know it's actually charging. And it was kind of a pain in the butt for me at first because I was plugging it in and I'm looking at this light. This is the light you expect to flash when it's charging, and it's not. It's actually this little guy down there. So let's try this again. Okay, so we're going to try to connect the wireless mic again now that we know we're getting power. And I've powered it on and pressed the pairing button. And now it's not doing it, of course. This is annoying. I'm going to power it off, press the pairing button. Come on, you can do it. I have faith in you, man. I do not remember having this much of a headache with it. You know what? I'm just going to press the pairing button and then turn it on. Maybe. This is so weird, guys. It's got to be a battery issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and charge this up and then finish the review. So we'll be back probably in an hour, hour and a half. So interesting note, I haven't charged it yet, but I turned it off and turned it back on. And now it says it's updating the do-all handle, do not power off the Pocket. So maybe it's because this thing needed a software update that it hasn't gotten yet. So now it's doing the firmware update, shooting it from the main body of the camera down to the handle. So it's doing its thing. Cool, the update is successful. Now it's updating the microphone, guys. So now it's updating the microphone. This is kind of interesting. I don't remember this happening at all with my first one. But hey, you know, I'll take it because now it looks like everything is working. You just had to turn it off and turn it back on. All right. I'll take that. So I'm going to update this to say out of the box to in action in about 20 minutes of futzing with it. Which is still really not that bad. But as you can see, hopefully you can see the different flashy colors and stuff that's going on there. It is updating the microphone right now. Whatever voodoo it is that they do, the microphone is getting a firmware update. Okay. So the update was successful. Oh, that looks a lot better now. All right, so now we should get an audio meter appearing on the microphone. Let's go into the settings now and see if the microphone is there. No, do not disconnect this wireless mic, you bastards. We just went through hell to get you going. All right, cool. So it looks like it's all good. It's really hard for you guys to see it, but we're going to try to turn it and hope that this will focus on it. And I can't really tell if this is actually focused in on it or not. But as I'm talking, you should see the audio meter going up and down, and it just looks like a microphone meter. So that's all that is. But yeah, so takes a little bit of messing with it, but that is your now complete out-of-the-box experience. So this is from opening to shut off, and we're done. And guys, I can't express how much happier I am with this one. This is a better device than the first one that I had, and I had it's the same device. So I don't know. Maybe that was an indication that my other one had issues to begin with. But like, for example, I'm looking at the color palette on this, and I can see the color palette and the way that it balances everything is so much better. Let me kind of show you what I'm looking at here, and you can see kind of an idea of the color balance there. Compared to the last DJI Osmo Pocket 2 that I was using, this one is phenomenal. This looks as good as this Sony camera. I'm shocked. Cool. So I guess my previous Osmo Pocket 2 was defective pretty much out of the get-go, which also explains why it cooked itself. So I'm going to show you what it looks like when it powers off, because this is actually kind of neat, right? There it is. Pretty cool, huh? And then when you turn it on, it nods hello, and then it goes away. So that is pretty cool. I'm a lot happier with this one than I was with the other one, and I was pretty happy with the other one all the way up until the day that it died. For those of you who are wondering, this is a 10,000 milliamp hour power bank, and it is very rapidly charging both of these devices. So this one's at almost 100%, but we're going to continue to just let them charge. But if you're looking for a mobile solution, this is a pretty mobile camera. Now we're going to go ahead and put all the accessories away. This blanking cap, I don't want to throw it away, so I'm just going to put it back in the box here. But you're pretty much never going to use that again, and you're pretty much never going to use those. The dead cat, you should always take the dead cat with you when you travel, because you never know when you're going to need that thing. And it it could be nice, and then all of a sudden you're getting gusts of wind. So keep the dead cat with you whenever you go out. You don't really need to use it indoors. The audio quality of this mic is really shockingly good. I don't know who makes it. I'm curious. I'm very curious. Maybe one of you guys watching this video can give me a comment down below and tell me who actually makes this microphone for DJI. Because I tell you what, if they sold this with the receiver, I would buy one. I really would. I mean, it's great. It's a great mic. I like it a lot. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put it all up here. And so I just want to show you, there's two different ways that you can put this camera into this case. I like to do it in a way that the power button is on the inside. I'm not sure if there's an actual right or wrong way to do it. That's just how I like to do it. And this gives you the SD card access right there. And because of this wonderful double dong connector here, you can actually stand the camera up on the tripod like I'm doing. Take your microphone and just click it into the top here. All right, I'm going to disconnect the mic and then I'm going to plug it back in. But your microphone just goes right there so that you always have your mic with you, which I think is a very cool and well thought out thing from DJI. And now we're charging everything off of one power bank in a fairly compact amount of space. So let's say, for example, you forget to charge it. Hey, there I am. So let's say that you're heading out and you forget to charge this bad boy. Bring your power bank. You can plug it in the car. You can charge it in the car. I've done it. You don't have to have like a super high output to charge this thing. I've got like a 8-year-old Asus smartphone charger, and that's what I charge it up with. It 5 volts, 2.4 amps, and that's how fast it charges. So you don't need a whole lot. If you've got an iPhone charger, keep that bad boy. Don't let it go, especially if it's an older iPhone charger. And just plug this cable into it and it'll provide more than enough to do it. So hopefully you guys have a little bit of a better idea now, you know, what comes in the box, what's involved with setting it up. I mean, you guys kind of watched me do it. I apologize. I wish I could have like an overhead view of, you know, while I'm going through and pushing all the buttons. It was a little bit easier for me this time because I had one previously, but you know, it doesn't really take that long. I would say give yourself a realist. Don't go buy this in the store. Go out to your car, open it, and expect to shoot a video right on the spot. Take it home, give it a little go juice, charge it up, and you shouldn't have too many issues with it. I'm really surprised because the color palette coming out of this camera is almost as good as this ZV-1 right now. That being said, the Sony has its own purpose. This is going to be my studio camera, and then this is what I'm going to use along with the GoPro for just about everything else. Anyway, hopefully this has helped influence you guys a little bit, or help you, you know, make a decision if you're curious. I love the ZV-1. I really love this camera. It's a great camera. So isn't that cool how it does that with the focus? Bam, 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 bam. That is so awesome. And this is great too. If you're trying to do a channel, right? Me personally, for all the stuff that I'm doing, I kind of feel like you need both. This is awesome because you can mount it on a tripod, use the software, zoom in on what you're doing, and then you've got this for the bigger overhead views. Now, one thing that I'm going to be purchasing here in the future, and it's only like, I don't know, it's pretty cheap, but there's a wide lens that goes here that's going to give me a little bit of a wider field of view. So it'll be a little bit easier for me to stay in focus and do what I'm doing, and it'll hopefully improve the content. But let me know down in the comments below, how'd you like this video? As always, if you're getting some value out of it, please hit like, subscribe, and help me grow this channel, because I can't do it without you guys. And unlike most of the other YouTubers, I realize that I need you, and hopefully, you guys get some good stuff out of my videos too. So this is Byron saying have a great day, guys.